Good morning, everyone. It's another week of working on Blue Thunder, or I'm working on building the bed for Blue Thunder anyway. So this week we're working on laying out the upper deck. I have most of the steel for that. There's a bunch of 14-inch pieces I don't have yet for the ribbing, but I don't know that I'll have time to weld them in, so I haven't picked them up. So these are my side rails. Two of the three pieces that make up the outer side rail. We're running chicken lights all the way down each side. So I came out the other night on the patio and spent some time, laid everything out and figured out my spacing I wanted for those. So now I have drilled pilot holes for all the chicken lights. Go all the way down. There'll be 11 down each side. So we're going to start out with getting these drilled so that the chicken lights can go in. I've got to drill the back side for cable entry, but I'm not sure exactly where that's going to come in at yet. So as we get it laid out on the truck, I'll have to figure that out and then drill it before I weld everything together. Where my corners come in, they're going to miter. So I have to close these up to make the bend on the corner. So I got some welding to do on that, which again is all prep work before putting it on the truck. So that's what I'm working on this weekend. I've got friends coming over to see the truck tomorrow. We've actually got a beautiful day today. The sun is out and coming up, blue skies, and the rain will be back tomorrow. So with Thunder, we've got the tarps off everything. I'm going to try to finish up the painting today so everything's kind of sealed up and I don't have to worry about stuff rusting on me. And then we'll go for a short drive tomorrow with our friends, let them check out the truck. And we'll keep building on the bed. So this is what I'm working on right now. I'll keep giving you some video as I go along. Okay, working on the 3/4 inch holes for the running lights, chicken lights. My step bit's doing a phenomenal job of drilling. The issue I have is that it is just slightly too long to be able to go all the way through. I tried using my big 3/4 inch drill bit, but that's got broken tips on it, and it's grabbing and it's just beating the tar out of me to try. I did 4 holes with it, and that's not going to work. That's not practical for drilling all these. So I'm going to have to try to find a 3/4 inch step bit that's a little bit shorter than the one I have. We're close. It drilled well right up until it touches the back wall, and I don't want to drill into the back wall. So plan B we'll work on. I'm going to head to the hardware store and see what I find, and then we'll keep working on it and keep going. Okay, we got all our holes drilled, cleaned them up, painted the outside so that it'll help keep it from rusting on the outer edge where it's going to show and I care about it. But it's 20 holes drilled, some paint on it, like I say, help protect it. Now I'm starting a late breakfast for Mary and I on the Blackstone. But this is where we're at. Next will be to start cleaning these edges up and looking at tacking and welding those on, I think. Start building those end plates. Okay, the next steps and what I'm getting done today. I got some painting on the front welds up front. Tried to keep things from rusting with the rain coming in and the weather changing. It is September in middle of September in Washington. And then also I haven't drilled yet to clamp the front of the bed down, so 10 more holes, 14 millimeter, 5 on each side, drilling through 3/4 inch of material. So lots of fun drilling today. 30 holes total, 20 on the sides through the 3/16 and 10 on the bed. Okay, 10 pilot holes drilled, 5 on each side. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Time to start enlarging them out to fit bolts. Okay, the front flanges are drilled, cleaned up, painted, ready for bolts. This is how bolts should go in. That's how things should fit when you make them. Anyway, so that's done. I'm going to throw the nuts on it, and then I'm shutting down for the day and go get some... I'm out of decent clothes. I'm going to go buy a new pair of jeans, dig out a brand new t-shirt, and get cleaned up, go to dinner with some friends, and call it a day. So, we'll be back on this probably Monday, I expect. We'll see where we get to tomorrow and what the weather does. Okay, it's Sunday morning. Steel's back in the front yard again. So today I need to work on closing these ends up and get ready so that we'll be able to put them up onto the truck, because they'll be within a few inches of the fairing. We won't be able to weld that once it's on the truck. So today's project is to get those closed up and cleaned up and ready to deploy. Install, whatever you want to call it. Okay, went for a ride with our friends to let them see the truck. So now it's parked again, it's stationary. I've started laying out the upper deck. I've run into another issue. Everything's square and clean, but each one of these spacer pieces that is going in there is just a fraction long. Not enough to really see it just measuring a piece, but by the time we get 9 pieces stacked up, I'm almost 3/8 of an inch too long, which puts me past the break angle point for the deck. So I don't think I'm going to try to make them recut these. I would have rather been a 30-second short than a 30-second long, but that's all right. I think what we're going to end up doing is picking one of these. I'm thinking maybe this one, because this beam floats the most. And we'll just shorten the 5 pieces that go across here by 3/8 of an inch. That'll bring everything back at the back into where it needs to be. This one's kind of important. It can't move forward because that'll change that angle through here. This one floats because the corners should be somewhere up in here. We'll see exactly, I guess. But not quite so tight. Corner should be somewhere right up in here. This piece floats in there. So we'll see how that comes together. I'm going to think about it for a little bit. Not trip over stuff in the yard. Measure my diagonals and just first lay out off of one end from the end. I am a 1/16 of an inch out of square, just general layout, coming off the front headache rack. So we're really close. There'll be some more fitment to do from there. There's no doubt in my mind. We'll figure out how all this lays in. I probably won't try to put sides on. I might. Just to see how fitment goes. But we'll see what we do on that. Again, I got to think about it a little bit. I can work off of this one. I can work off of that one. But if I've got to move all this 3/8 of an inch forward, then that changes everything. I got to start over. So I don't know if I want to put the sides on yet. I might. We'll see what it looks like. I might just do some measuring, see what we look like. All right, well, that's where I'm at for the moment, and we'll keep you posted as we go forward. Here's our first test First test fit of the side rail. Spacing on the chicken lights looks good. Spacing to the cab looks good. I'm very happy with that. Obviously, lots of grinding still to do. I thought it might get a little tight getting in here welding, and I think it will. I should be able to weld in here for this corner, but I think I'll want these on before I set them in permanent. Next, I'm going to set up and see how those pieces fit and just kind of get an overall view of the fit on all this. Okay, battery's almost dead, 13%, so I'm going to try to keep this pretty clear, pretty quick. Go back a little bit without falling. So we have the upper deck laid out, and it is incredible. This is awesome. There's going to be so much room up here when the Jeep's not on it. There's some fine tuning to do up in the corners. But all in all, this is awesome. I really like this. This is coming out phenomenal. So it's where we're at. Nothing's tacked, nothing's, it's just a couple of clamps holding everything. We're just looking at all the fitment and what it's going to do, figuring out how the pieces have to go together before I weld, so that I don't have to cut anything apart and change what I'm doing. But yes, this is going to work phenomenally for what I need. So, yep, it's working. It's doing what we need. A little more work to do to fit stuff. I'll probably have to take the fronts off, clean them up, clean up the little diagonal piece. I think I'm going to tack those onto the side rails before I go any further with that. Part of building the side rail. Then it's just a piece up to the front to build. That's going to work well, so I can make it do what I need, how I need. And then let's put it back up and figuring out the downslope and where they meet up, and doing some tacking. And I almost wish I'd cleaned up some of these rails because they're close enough. I think I could tack them, but we gotta get the rest of it in before I start thinking about that, just to make sure everything's clean and straight. Just because I'm square doesn't mean that I'm straight to the truck, so we're gonna get the back end part on. I shoot where we can see down the sides and make sure they're running straight and what they're doing, and then we'll go from there. But so far, everything's looking really good. Okay, that is a good start. Let's see if I can jack you guys up enough to see something better than I can. All I can say to this is, holy cow, that looks good. I like that. And that's coming pretty darn clean down this edge. I don't think I'll have any issues with this. So, very happy with what I'm seeing. I'll still have to figure out the structure so that the water tank's removable. We can start cleaning all this up, get it ready to tack and put in permanent. Wow. Yeah, wow. That's all I can say. Wow. This seems to work. It's in front of that, which means it's ahead of the roll for where the decking is going to come in, so I'm okay with that. I need to space the decking 1/8 inch anyway so that I can get seams in there. So I think this is actually going to work really well. And I got a bunch of drilling still to do. I got to be able to put wire in and all that. So I got to dismantle it all and then put it all back in the way it is now. I think I need to mark where my beams are so I can figure out where my cable needs to drill and where I'm bringing my wire in at. That I don't know yet. Not sure where I want to do this. Is really close here. Well, I might try to do my cable entry up here. This one's really close. This one's right behind it. I could bring my wiring up and come through this one. That would certainly work well. Originally, I was going to bring it up the post and weave it through here, but I think that's going to end up a whole lot more work than what I want to get into. So I like this one. This one's really nice. Mark it, drill it, and it'll be really easy to fish both sides. So I think that's where our cable entry is going. It'll bring it in. I could probably bring it in the side here. Okay, I have the forward section of the side rail off the truck. I'm working on welding up the corners because I cannot do that on the truck. It's just too tight in there. Then I'm going to clean all these edges up, look at setting them back in. I'm probably going to grind my bevels on the far end for where the miters touch. So I need to bevel this edge, and this edge to weld. Yeah, that one's in. Then I think I'm going to set it back in, clean it where these connect. I think I'll take these out one at a time, mark where they connect, take them out, clean them up, bring them back, set them back in, tack them, do the next one, and just work my way down the line. Or I may do them all one by one, set them back in, then go through and tack things. I'm not sure which route I'm going to go. But this deck is easily close enough just to tack it where everything sits. It's not clean, so I can't tack it. I got to clean it first, but that is doable easily. Once this is all tacked, I'm in pretty doggone good shape. I'll probably take some of those pieces and bring them out to the edge for fitment. Tack an edge. Take it, slide it back a little bit, tack an edge. I don't know. We'll figure out how we're doing that to make sure that these don't have any slight variation in them, that those pieces slide in where they're supposed to. But that will work. This is all coming out just awesome. I am delighted with all of it. There's a few minor issues. A couple of these didn't get, like this cut comes up to here and then the top is square, so there's a gap. Same thing on the other side a little bit. We were cutting these really tight out of a stick to get them, so there's going to be a little bit of gap filling, but it's certainly within my capability. I've played with a lot worse than that, so I mean, heck, the gaps are bigger than that where I'm filling here and bringing them out. So right now we're just waiting on our welds to cool. They're still hot. And then we'll weld the back side, and then we can grind and clean these up. Drill my wire entry holes. I figured out where those are going, right where we talked about earlier. That's hot and heavy because there's a cable entry right here. You can see the hole through it though, so that's where my cable entry is going to go. It's the easiest point to fish. And then that crossbar, which I believe is this one. I was originally going to drill the bottom, but I think I'm going to drill the side of it for the cable entry, and then we'll just have to figure out how and where we want to route the cables. That's going to be pretty easy. A little bit of wire loom. It'll come from wherever I need to, do whatever I need. All right, well, that's where we're at. We're going to keep moving forward, keep plugging away on it. I am delighted with how it's looking. It is, yeah, just mind-bogglingly clean. I guess that's why they say your skeleton is your most important part, the underlayment. But yeah, no, I like it. Lots of room to put a Jeep up here, that's for sure. So, all right, I'll bring you back when I have more to show you. Hey everyone, does anybody have any guesses what today is? Now, you guys are smart. That's right. It's another day of working on the truck. And it is kicking my rear. Not much has really visibly changed today. We got the front edges squared up. They were about 1/16 of an inch out. We got that squared up. Got these corner pieces on and welded, so that they're integral to the side now. And we got the whole deck laid out, squared up, and we have started tacking the cross beams and the sides. So we have 4 cross beams tacked into place. And then from there, we'll just keep plugging along. Tomorrow's another day. I'm wrapping it up tonight. We're going to go grab some dinner. Mary and I are both hungry. And tomorrow I'm taking the day off, so hopefully by tomorrow night I'll have this whole front section either tacked up or maybe possibly partway welded. Got to start laying out all the little cross pieces, setting them in here, so that's going to take a little bit of layout and some work after it's tacked. Still got some bars that, now that this is all tacked, I should be able to move these over and take out this crossbar, get it cleaned up and tacked in, put back in and tacked in place. And then we can start cleaning up these bars back here for the same thing. All right, well, that's it for tonight. So blink a couple times and it'll be tomorrow. And we'll show you where we're at. Good morning, everyone. It's another day of working on the truck. I am starting to get all the interlocking pieces in and tacked. We're slowly making progress here. The bed is coming together. Everything's still just tacked. Nothing's welded. It's supposed to rain tomorrow, so I took the day off work today. It's supposed to be nearly 80 today. Try to get as much done as I can, get it in, tacked, welded, and painted before the rain comes. And it's just holes, holes, and more holes. All these little diagonal pieces. There's 45 of them in the front half of the deck, 2 holes in each, so I got 90 1/4-inch holes to drill. Not all of those will be today, some of them. But we're setting everything up. We make a jig, slide each piece in, tack it in place, move to the next one. So it's what we're working on today. Okay, I got these 4 drilled and cleaned on the ends and ready. Well, 4th one's here. It's jigged up, set in, ready to tack in place. Then we just move everything over and do the next one. Work right down the line. Okay, we're getting everything tacked up. So, pieces are coming together. Got 2 more rows of the 2x2 to put in. But so far everything's fitting nicely. I've got the steel for the back is actually a different size and it's getting cut today, hopefully. So from where those are tacked forward, I should be able to build all of that today. And that's my goal. Not too worried about coming back from there right now because I can fit that under the canopy and protect it from the rain. So I want to get the front side done so that I can start looking at painting it and getting it weather protected. All right, I'll be back in a bit and show you where I get to. Okay, I'm tired. It's been a day so far, but I'm not nearly done. All right, that whole front end is all tacked up, ready to start welding. Everything fit. Still got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, so 12 of the short bars to go in, but they're over top of the rails or just outside the rails where the spacers were, so I'm not too concerned about them fitting. Next step, I'm going to start welding things up, and then figure out what I'm going to do from there. See what, okay, you can see what it looks like out here. I'm not done yet. I still got to paint before the rain comes in the morning. So I'm going to keep moving, but it's dark. Well, it's Friday evening. Finally got some decent weather again. Had several days of raining on and off. One day of just raining all day. Tried to work between the rain squalls. Got as much done as I could during the week. We got a fair amount of the bed done. So this weekend's working on the back, trying to get the plywood on the front, welding underneath, whatever fits in, how it fits. We only have 500 pounds of welding gas left, so won't be doing too much welding. We'll be out of gas. We'll get some next week. But it's coming along. We're making progress. So we'll pick it up in the morning. Okay, it's Saturday morning. I have all my steel now. Well, for the upper deck. Everything's the right sizes. I got it back, got it cut, recut, so it fits. Got everything tacked in this morning. Worked on cleaning stuff yesterday and this morning, and then got everything tacked in for this round here in the back. Working under a canopy because even though it's not supposed to rain today, this is Washington. It certainly could rain without a problem. This is where we're at. Got most of the upper deck done. Our friend that whose house we're staying at is on his way from Texas up here to make another trip. Finish loading this out so he can eventually get it sold. He called last night. He's in Twin Falls, Idaho, having some engine problems. So depending on what he finds today, this may end up turning into a rescue build. We may quit on the upper deck, remove the back portions since they're just clamped, weld a hitch receiver onto the back, and we may go flat tow him back to Washington, him and his cargo trailer. Can't double tow all of that, but we can certainly double tow part of it. So don't know what's going to go on with that yet, but I have never been afraid to go help a friend in need, and this truck will certainly do whatever we need as far as towing. So if he needs towed, we're going to break off and go tow him. But meanwhile, I'm going to keep building the upper deck so that it is solid and ready to travel. I've ordered a hitch. Don't know that I'm going to use it. It may just get stowed and carried until we're done and at that point in our build. But then at least it's here because it's 4 days to get the hitch here. Get a 20,000 pound receiver here. Then at least it's here. If he needs towed, I have the parts to put on the truck and go. yeah, all in all, I'm delighted with how this is turning out. I'll try to move the canopy later and get you guys a better view from up top so you can see how it's coming out. But all right, well, that's it for the moment. That's my update, and I will check back later and keep you informed as I know more. Party deck, it's starting. Plywood deck up here. So far it's 8 by 8. I've only got the front sheet partially attached, so still got some work to do, but we are getting closer. Feels like maybe we might be able to get out of here before long, so I'm happy about that. Okay, it's Saturday night, almost dark. Shutting it down for tonight. This is where I've got to. Still got a little more welding to do next week after I get more welding gas at the back before I can put the third sheet on. I have it sitting on sawhorses. I have the deck mostly secured down. Got a couple more U-bolts on it to put in, and that'll have it secured, one up front, one at the back in the middle. We've got the toolbox, first toolbox secured. Second one should fit with the tank between them. So right now everything is looking awesome. I am very happy with it. So that's it, Saturday night, and I'm calling it a night. So we'll catch you guys up tomorrow. It's another day of working on the truck. I guess I don't need those on to look at you guys. Still don't know if I'm making a rescue mission or not, but we're trying to work on getting the truck prepared if we do need to. So today we're working on lighting. We've got 2 of the 3 sheets for the upper deck down. I've got 4 pieces of steel that I'm short for adding the third sheet on. I'll get welding gas on Monday. We'll get those laid in Monday night, so the third sheet can go down. That'll have the upper deck complete. Toolboxes are mostly installed. Still got to tighten down the bolts on the far one. But we are getting closer. We've done some looking and came up with these for tie downs. So that's what we're going to use for tying down for our ratchet straps for tying things down on the deck for now. So sun came out a little bit, which is nice. It was cold this morning. But we are either going to take off the back and go on a rescue mission next week, or we are going to pick up the steel and get the back deck mostly constructed and welded so we can finish wiring it and get on the road to go to Arizona and Nevada and the Huddle and the different things we're going to do. Departure date is 3 weeks from yesterday, so clock's ticking down. I kind of hope we don't have to go on a rescue mission because that's going to really cut into my build time. Still got to change out the pin on the trailer. And we're getting there. We're plugging along, but as long as I don't have to drive to southeastern Idaho, I think it's all doable. If I got to drive to southeastern Idaho on a rescue mission, then all bets are off. But this is where we're at. It's looking good. I am delighted with it. We'll give you more updates as the day goes on. Well, this might end up being it for today. I'm running out of things that I can work on by myself. Mary's off visiting with some friends before we leave town in a couple of weeks. So this is where we've got to. I might actually have a day when I'm done before dark. That's a scary thought. So 2 of the 3 sheets for the upper deck are done. I've got 4 of the 6 tie downs put on. Toolboxes are mostly mounted. I need to find somebody that can give me a hand to hold the wrench on the nylock nut on the bottom while I run the top. to anchor down the last toolbox. That's the one that's open. Then I can start loading that toolbox. I've started loading the other one. So, structure's done. Looks like I got a little more painting I could do from the bottom side. But for the most part, we're there. All the bolts are torqued. So everything's up to spec. We're getting closer. I'm really hoping I can get that roof deck mostly done before we leave. Time will tell. We'll see where we get to. If not, I'll have to figure out how to secure that stuff and carry it with me. So, and then at some point I've got to set up and run the put in the pieces for holding the water tank. Decide on which direction I'm sloping it, whether I'm sloping it to the front or to the back. Haven't made up my mind on that yet. Anyway, it's coming out really nice. I am happy with it. So, no complaints on my side. We are getting there. It's coming together. Alright, so I think that's going to be a video. We're going to wrap this up. I'll get it out. That way you guys can see what's happening. Otherwise, I know me, I'll forget, and next week there won't be a video for you to watch. So, from Washington, with just under 3 weeks left, we are out.